उमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं हरिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। व्याप्तिरेस्य निजय निजय नमसा पक्षे सपक्षे स्थिति व्यावृत्तिश्च विपक्षतोक्त विषये शक्तिर्न वै बाध्यते नैवास्ति पक्षयुक्तिरतुलं शुद्धं प्रमाणं समे भूयात् तत्त्वविनिर्णयाय भगवान् आनन्दतीर्थो मुनि श्रीमदानन्दतीर्थार्य सन्मनस्तुलसी भुवि अनुव्याख्याननिलिने चञ्चरी गति में मनः सनातनं रूपं इहोपदर्शयन् आनन्दसिन्धुं परितप्रवर्धयन् अन्तस्तमस्तोमहरस्य राजतां चैतन्य रूपो विदुरद्भुतोदयः। Hare Krishna, welcome you all for the next session. I hope my voice is audible. Just a minute, I'm sharing my screen. So, yesterday we were discussing about Lakshmi Tattva. One thing I have to admit before proceeding further that it will be wrong to claim that we can understand everything about this. It is a very difficult topic. The pastimes of Lakshmi Narayana, the pastimes of Radha Krishna, what their relationship is, what their intimacy is, all those things are difficult topics to understand. They are not so easy. For example, here we were reading some things. Just a minute, I will read this. Mother Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 19th chapter, text number 13. Mother Lakshmi, who is here, is the reservoir of all spiritual qualities. Whereas you manifest and enjoy all these qualities. Indeed, you are actually the enjoyer of everything. You live as the supersoul of all living entities, and the goddess of fortune is the form of their subtle bodies, senses, and minds. She also has a holy name and form, whereas you are the support of all such names and forms and the cause of their manifestation. So the translation itself indicates that the Supreme Lord is the support of Lakshmi and all her names and forms. Purport. Madhvacharya, the Acharya of the Tattvavadis, has described this verse in the following way. Vishnu is described as Yajna personified, and Mother Lakshmi is described as spiritual activities and the original form of worship. In fact, they represent spiritual activities and the supersoul of all Yajna. Lord Vishnu is the supersoul even of Lakshmi Devi, but no one can be the supersoul of Lord Vishnu, for Lord Vishnu himself is the spiritual supersoul of everyone. According to Madhvacharya, there are two tattvas or factors. One is independent and the other is dependent. The first tattva is the Supreme Lord Vishnu and the second tattva is the Jiva tattva. Lakshmi Devi, being dependent on Lord Vishnu, is sometimes counted among the Jivas. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, however, describe Lakshmi Devi in accordance with the following verse of the Prameya Ratnavali of Baldev Vidyabhushan. The first verse is a quotation of the Padma Purana, of the Vishnu Purana. Nityaiva sa Jagan Mata Vishnor Shri Anabhayini Yata Sarvagata Vishnus Tatayveyam Dijottama Vishnosyu Shaktayas Tisras Tasu Ya Kirita Para Saiva Shris Tad Abhinneti Praha Shishyan Prabhur Mahan. O best of the Brahmanas, Lakshmi ji is the constant companion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, and therefore she is called Anapayini. She is the mother of all creation. As Lord Vishnu is all pervading, his spiritual potency, Mother Lakshmi, is also all pervading. Lord Vishnu has three principal potencies: internal, external, and marginal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted the Parashakti, the spiritual energy of the Lord, as being identical with the Lord. Thus, she is also included in the independent Vishnu Tattva. In the Kanti Mala commentary on the Prameya Ratnavali, there is this statement: Nanu Kvachit Nitya Mukta Jivatvam Lakshmyash Svikrutam Tatraha Praheti Nityav iti Pade Sarva Vyapti Kathanena Kalakashtyeti Adi Padya Dvaye Shuddhopitya Ukta Cha Mahaprabhuna स्वशिष्यान् प्राहलक्ष्म्या भगवत अद्वैतम उपदिष्टन् क्वचित् यत् तस्यास्तु द्वैतम उक्तम तत्तु तद् आविष्ट नित्यमुक्त जीवम आद्या संगतमस्तु. Although some authoritative Vaishnava disciplic successions count the goddess of fortune among the ever liberated living entities, Jivas in Vaikuntha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in accordance with the statements in the Vishnu Purana, has described Lakshmi as being identical with Vishnu Tattva. The correct conclusion is that the description of Lakshmi as being different from Vishnu are stated when an eternally liberated living entity is imbued with the quality of Lakshmi. They do not pertain to Mother Lakshmi, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. So, some discussions could generate out of this. One thing I would like to confess that definitely there is some level of achintyatva, inconceivability in this whole thing episode. We cannot say that everything is conceivable to our logic, but yathamati yatha shakti, we will try to understand this, because the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, or the relationship between Lakshmi and Narayana, these are something which are really individual and secret, and everything we cannot describe fully with our capacity. Those who are very close to them may be able to understand. So, how close they are? There is one thought that it's all merged into one Supreme Lord. Then there is another thought that just like Vishnu is Supreme Lord, Lakshmi is also Supreme Lord. Okay, so what we mentioned yesterday was that Lakshmi is Anapayini, means that wherever Vishnu is, Lakshmi is with him. Even at the dissolution also, Lakshmi doesn't get destroyed. She will always be with him. She will be always his companion. That way you cannot separate the two of them. Separate the two means they are not merged, but they are two entities who are always together with each other. So that is what I was able to think, because uh, there are some quotes which I would like to discuss in this regard. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, text verse 60, chapter 16, verse number 20. As the king of the bees hover over the tulsi leaves, this is the purport, hover over the tulsi leaves offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lakshmi, the goddess who is sought by the demigods, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and everyone else, always engages in rendering service to the lotus feet of the Lord. We know this famous Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu verse, Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshit Abhavad Vaiyasake Kirtane Prahlada Smarane Tadangri Bhajane Lakshmi Prithu Pujane Akrurastvad Abhivandane Kapi Patir Dasyetha Sakhe Arjunaha Sarvaswa Sarvaswatma Nivedite Balir Abhut Krishnapir Esham Para. So, how each of them, by following one of the angas of bhakti, perfected their lives. So, it's mentioned that Lakshmi is engaged in Pada Sevana, worshipping the lotus feet of Narayana. Further, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 15, verse number 21, Prabhupada says in the purport, men of Ravana's class want Lakshmi only without her husband Narayana. Therefore, they become unsteady due to Lakshmi ji. Materialistic persons find fault on the part of Lakshmi. But in the Vaikuntha, Lakshmi ji is fixed in the service of the Lord. In spite of her being the goddess of fortune, she cannot be happy without the grace of the Lord. Even the goddess of fortune needs the Lord's grace in order to be happy. Yet, in the material world, even Brahma, the highest created being, seeks favor of Lakshmi ji for happiness. So, the highest being in the material world, Brahma ji, he seeks favor of Lakshmi ji. Whereas, what is Lakshmi ji doing? She needs Lord's grace to be happy. So, definitely it's the Lord who is an independent entity, and His grace is essential for Lakshmi Devi to be happy. Further, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, text 20, verse number 28, it's mentioned. Mother Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune, is well known for always massaging the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. She is an ideal wife because she takes care of Lord Narayana in every detail. She takes care not only of his lotus feet but of the household affairs of the Lord as well. She cooks nice foods for him, fans him while he eats, smooths sandalwood pulp on his face, and sets his bed and sitting places in the right order. In this way, she is always engaged in the service of the Lord, and there is hardly any opportunity for any other devotee to intrude upon his daily activities. So, here it's very much nicely mentioned how Lakshmi Devi is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord in all the different ways. So much so that she is so busy, she doesn't want anybody else to interfere in the service. She wants to do it because she doesn't have that faith. She feels that it has to be done perfectly. So that is the commitment towards the service of the Lord from Lakshmi Devi's side. So the idea is that whenever we study, we have to study from all the points of view. So when here it is mentioned that identity of Vishnu, so in the Prabhupada is spoken of Prameya Ratnavali and other things. So one thing is that translation itself, here it's mentioned that she also has a holy name and form, whereas you support all such names. The Supreme Lord supports the goddess of fortune, and also her names and forms, everything supported by the Supreme Lord itself. So in that context, we should be careful in analyzing such statements, that this dasyatva or this servitor relationship, sevya sevaka bhava, should not have honey. It should not be disturbed, the sevya sevaka bhava. That's in that context we should interpret this verse. So how much Lakshmi is divine, to what extent she is the supreme? Is it completely supreme? The one thing is, there is achintya. It's inconceivable for at least people like us, at least people like me. It's a difficult subject matter. But what we could understand is that Vishnu, he is everywhere. He takes so many forms to be everywhere. It's not impersonal spreading everywhere. He takes unlimited forms, and with unlimited forms, he stays everywhere. So Lord Vishnu is the Sakshi of our karmas. For there are different sakshis that Yamaraj speaks of, right? Uh, Whenever we perform some pious activities or sinful activities, it's the day, it's the night, it's the direction. There are so many. Ultimately, it's the Supreme Lord. So for every karma a person does, Lord Vishnu takes a special form to be a sakshi of it. So how many karmas we do, positive or negative, good or bad, for everyone there is a Sakshi, Lord Vishnu. And for every living entities, every karma that he does, there is a different form that is a Sakshi for that. So many different forms the Supreme Lord takes, and Vishnu, Lakshmi Devi is inseparable from him. She is always with him in all those forms. So that is the Sarva Vyaptatva of Vishnu and the Sarva Vyaptatva of Lakshmi. So she is not an ordinary living entity. That is quite clear. She is not at all a Jiva Tattva. But then to completely eradicate her position as, to completely place her on the level of Supreme Lord, that better we do it with a little bit of caution, is what I could understand from this. We can all discuss this. We can all study the sections in the book and take it forward. if we can develop a better understanding on that, I am definitely open for it. But this is what I could at least follow from this. So before we dive deep into Rādhā Tattva, any doubts in this regard, you can ask. Yes, Dharmeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So you said like for every karma that we do, there is a Sakshi form of the Lord.
Hmm.
Who is the witness who witnessed that particular karma? Probably can you elaborate it?
No, you see, which is that purport? Just a minute. Yamraj, he speaks about the different sakshis, right? Different people who witness the sinful and not the Yamraj, the Imdutas tell to Vishnu Dutas that these are the sakshis that this person has done bad sins. And in that, one of the sakshis is the Supreme Lord. So definitely Supreme Lord is a sakshi, but the Supreme Lord is not just one form. In every form, for every karma, he takes a new form, and in this way he is the sakshi. That's what Madhacharya mentions in the Mahabharata Tatva Nirnaya. And when we take prasadam, the Supreme Lord in the form of Vaishwanara digests the food that we take. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayuktam Pachananyam Chaturvidam. So there are 72,000 nadis in our body, what they call blood vessels today, but whether the same is nadis or no, it's more subtle, because these nadis are the places from where the soul will travel at the time of death. One nadi will be up, all 72,000 will be down. That up nadi is called Sushumna nadi, everyone else is down. So, based on the amount of karmas we have done, if the soul is eligible for liberation, he will, or if he is eligible for higher, he will go through Sushumna nadi. If not, the soul is going to lower species, he will take one of those 72,000 nadis and leave the body through that. Now, every time we consume food, so 72,000 is 720 into 100. So 720 is 360 into 2. So two times we eat, and 360 means 360 days for 1 year. So 360 days into 2, 720. So the two foods that we eat every day, each food is digested by a different form of Vishnu. And once the one form of Vishnu actually consumes that food that we eat, actually whatever we are eating is all consumed and digested by Vishnu only. It's ahuti, it's offering to the yajna that is happening in the stomach. So when we eat that food would have come with various punya and papa, the sins and this. So Chitragupta and Yamaraja are invited there to be sakshi for that food. And when we take that food, it goes to Vaishwanara, one form of the Lord who consumes the food now today afternoon. He will consume after 100 years. If at all we live for 100 years, after 100 years, he will come back. So every time a different form of Lord consumes the food that we eat. Similarly, the karma also, the sakshi of the karma will be a different form of the Lord. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you.
Anything else? Any other doubts related to what is discussed till now?
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yes.
Guruji, like Lord is Sarvyapi, like He is also present in our heart. So
Hmm.
is Lakshmi also present along with Him, like
Prabhu,
Paramatma?
we can never separate Lakshmi from Narayana. So definitely she is present with him in the heart of every living entity.
But it is never mentioned like that, Prabhu. In Gita also, like they say there are two birds sitting. So
Hmm.
only Vishnu is talked about, not Lakshmi like that.
Yes, because that we have to understand from this verse of Vishnu Purana, where she says, Yatha Sarvagato Vishnu Tathaive Sa this. So she is just like Vishnu is Sarvagata, she is also Sarvagata, she is also present everywhere. So we have to understand from the shloka of Vishnu Purana, that thing.
Okay, and then Prabhuji, what about the pastimes? Like we had a pastime where Anusaya Mata converted Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh into small kids, and their wives were anxious because they were not with them.
Hmm. So definitely, even in you see, when Lord Venkateshwara comes, his wife leaves him because Bhrigu Maharshi had kicked the chest. So she gets angry and she leaves Vaikunta. and comes, and then Lord Venkateshwara comes to search for her. So such pastimes are also there. These are now Krishna leaves Vrindavana. He leaves Radharani there and comes to Mathura. So these are leelas in order to manifest the love, to increase the love of God. But actually speaking, they are never separated. They are always together. Just that for facilitate pastimes, that Vishesha form is appearing.
Okay, like Prabhuji, Radha Krishna were not separated, but they were always in their like thought, like that we can say.
Yes, that
Yes.
Viraha Bhava is the Viraha Bhava is there. They are separate. That separation is causing that intense pain, and in this way they are meditating on the Lord. But that doesn't mean that they are separate. Krishna, wherever Krishna is, Radharani is always with him.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, regarding Vishesh Tattva, some more clarification I wanted to ask some questions.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, like when we say about Krishna, only when we address as Murlidhara, as Giridhari, so will they also be called as different Visheshas? Because now we are not addressing Narayana or Rama, like they will also be considered
So
as
Vishesham
Visheshas?
is Bheda Bhavepi Bheda Vyavaharam Vishesham. Even when there is no difference, for conventionally we recognize separately. So definitely because of his lifting Govardhan hill, we conventionally recognize him as Giridhari. We definitely, because of holding the flute, recognize him as Murlidhara conventionally. So that is Vishesha, definitely.
Okay.
Even
So,
within what you say Krishna, actually Krishna and Narayana, it's the same thing, but even within what you say Krishna, the different forms, they are all Vishesha Rupas.
mhm. Yes, yes. True for means like for matter also like there is a silk cloth in a room and there are many dirty cloths in that room and that
Mm,
silk cloth is the only clean cloth. So if
mm.
I say clean cloth and then a silk cloth, so these two are visheshas and each of the form silk cloth and the clean cloth they are the visishta form. Can we say like that?
Yes. So that is the anything for which you apply Visheshana, that
Mm.
becomes a Vishishta Rupa.
Okay. And the like each of those forms will be called visheshas.
Yes,
Visheshas. Is it
yes.
correct? Okay. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
I mean, the description is called Vishesha, whereas the cloth itself is Vishishta cloths.
Okay. This process of description is called visheshas.
Yes.
It doesn't exist like something touchable. Vishesha is not something like that.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
Roshan Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yesterday you talked about the Vishesha forms of the Lord, and you also talked about the two-handed forms, so four-handed forms, and universal forms. And there is a kind of hierarchy, means between two-handed, four-handed, and universal form. You talked about that two-handed form is more rare to see. It is the pinnacle of devotional service. So, Prabhuji, my question is not directly related to the topic, but my question is that what was the form that Duryodhana and other adharmis of the Mahabharata were seeing? They also saw Krishna with two hands, didn't
Yes,
they?
they saw means what we also see in the form of deity, the two-handed form of Krishna. But then actually they did not see, because if they had seen, they would recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what Arjuna saw, Duryodhana did not see, although the same person was there in front.
So we can say that they were illusionized by the Lord. They were in
Yes.
illusion.
The potency of the Lord put them under illusion that they did not recognize the supremacy.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. So we saw that Krishna is non-different from Vishnu, but by dint of Vishesha, because of Vishesha, he demonstrates certain more rasas, which are not demonstrable which are not shown in Vishnu Rupa. Leela Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri. These are the four things which is the one more. Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, and which is the one?
Bhakta Madhuri.
I will find out the exact technical word. So these four different special features are present in Krishna. Present means that out of Vishesha it is manifested for last Leela to happen or for the Leela of tending cows. So all these things are happening for a specific purpose. That is what we understand. So just like, so in Rasa Tattva, he indeed demonstrates that something more. We cannot say that he is more God, but he demonstrates that something more to facilitate more Leelas. So he demonstrates that Vishesha Rupa. Similarly, Mahalakshmi demonstrates the more Vishesha form of Radha, and she is in Parikya Rasa. And in that Parikya Rasa, Sri Radha actually serves the Supreme Lord. So it is the Mahalakshmi only who is Adi Lakshmi, who is Radha, who is serving. There is no different entity Radha. There was one some English talk by a different sampradaya where they challenged this idea that Mahalakshmi is supreme. You are bringing a new Radha who is different, who is supreme, who is more greater than Mahalakshmi. So uh, partly the accusation was also because of the Radha Tattva not being understood properly. Uh, it could be presented that Radha is somebody superior to Mahalakshmi or tatvikally greater than Mahalakshmi. So that is the way it could be presented. So that could also be there. No, that's not. There is no difference between Radha and Lakshmi. It's just that just like Krishna's Vishesha is facilitating more Leelas, Lakshmi's Vishesha Leela Rupa as Radha is facilitating more Leelas or more pastimes. That is how we should understand. Then we will be actually clear in this point. We saw some pramanas, we will see more about the authenticity of Radha. So when we say Radha, it is Lakshmi, that's how we should understand. Then these quotes will make sense. Tyasyadya Prakriti Radha Nitya Nirguna. Sri Radhika is his eternal original feature, devoid of material qualities, adorned with all ornaments and surpassing all beauty. This is in the Purusha Bodhini Upanishad. So she is beyond material modes. She is not affected by the material modes. That is the point we should understand here. Rigveda Parishishta speaks about the same. Radhaya Madhavo Devo. Madhava shines in the company of Radha and Radha shines in the company of Madhava. That is also mentioned in, these are all Shruti Pramanas. So Shruti Pramanas are speaking about this. There are some Smriti Pramanas that we will get into. Padma Purana. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnos Tasya Kundam Priya Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha. Just as Radha is dear to Lord Krishna, so her bathing place Radha Kunda is dear to him. She alone is the most beloved of all gopis. This is the point that is mentioned in Padma Purana, that Radha is the most beloved of all gopis. So somebody was questioning that there is no Radha in Bhagavatam, so we will reject Radha. And it is a bogus deity. So Radha is somebody who is not to be worshipped. These are the accusations that people have put. And this is not new. Even during the time of Baldev Vidyabhushana, the whole Radha Govinda episode of or Govinda Bhashya came up because of this only. They facilitated the formation of Govinda Bhashya, Vedanta commentary for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. They did great service by challenging the worship of Radha and Govinda. So according to them, okay, Radha is some deity you may worship, or Govinda is Supreme Lord, you may definitely worship. But worshipping Radha and Govinda together, that is unauthorized, is what they challenged. So he had to, Baldev Vidyabhushana had to answer this, and he had to establish the whole thing. So after writing the Govinda Bhashya, he was able to establish the sthana of hers. We have this famous shloka of the Padma Purana, the Damodara Ashtaka. नमस्ते स्तु धाम्ने स्फुरादीप्ति धाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीय प्रियायै नमोऽनंत देवा लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays unlimited pastimes. We have heard this very much. Srimati Radharani's sovereignty over Vrindavan is also described in the following verse found in both Skanda Purana and Matsya Purana. वर्णस्याम वाराणस्याम विशालाक्षी विमला पुरुषोत्तमे रुक्मिणी द्वारकायां च राधा वृंदावनवने. Durga rules over Varanasi as Vishalakshi, and Vimala Devi, she is in Jagannath Puri. Rukmini Devi is the queen of Dwarka, and in the same way Radharani is the queen of the Vrindavan forest. That is what is described here in the Matsya Purana. In the Brahat Gautami Tantra, it speaks about Lord, it's spoken by Lord Krishna to Balram. Sarvam Tattvam Paratvam Cha Tattvam Trayam Aham Kila Tritattva Rupini Shakti Radhika Mamo Vallabha Prakrite Para Evaham Sapi Mat Shakti Rupini Satvikam Rupam Asthaya Purniham Brahmachit Paraha Brahmana पार्थित सम्यक संभवामि युगे युगे तयस सर्धम त्वया सर्धम नसय देवत दुहम. I did not get the proper diacritics for this. My dear, I am the master of three potencies of material cause, material effect, and the transcendental potency over material nature. These three potencies are embedded in Radharani, who is very dear to me. So this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So here also Krishna clearly says Radharani is quite dear. Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 30th chapter 28th verse. Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshwara yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayadradharaha. Certainly, the particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. So, of course, the name of Radharani is not mentioned here. So, the questioners will question that how can you say there is no mention of Radharani? Then we know that Shukadeva Goswami, for a particular reason, did not mention Radharani's name. But at least this shloka tells that there is a hierarchy among the gopis. There is one superior and there are others less superior than the gopis. So at least that clarity is there. And yesterday we discussed that to embrace Krishna, she should have Lakshmi Amsha within her. Unless Lakshmi is there, nobody else can embrace Krishna. So definitely the Shakti of Lakshmi has to be there in them. So that way gopis, you cannot say they are not Lakshmi or they don't have Lakshmi Amsha in them. So among them Radha is there, and Radha is anyway one of the names of in Lakshmi Stotras and all. Radha is mentioned as one of the names of Lakshmi anyway. So under those circumstances, a samanvaya can be done that definitely it is Lakshmi who is Radha as a Vishesha Rupa, and she is definitely serving him. So when all these pramanas are given, especially the pramanas given by Jiva Goswami has given many pramanas in Shastra, from Shastras. So the people question that, oh no, these Shastras are manipulated, these Shastras are unauthentic. So these people who claimed and who challenged these videos, they said the Shastras are unauthentic or they are not genuine. So one thing is that if at all these Shastras are proved genuine, then we will get the dosha of disregarding Shastric injunctions. So we have to be careful when we claim that some Shastra is genuine or not genuine. So one of the Shruti Shastra Nindanam, one of the aparadhas is called Shruti Shastra Nindanam. The Shastras, we cannot do Nindana. So if at all it is proved, we have to be very careful. We have to try as much as possible to do Samanvaya and not just directly make a statement that no, these Shastras which speak of Radha are not genuine. Because definitely it's quite clear from the Bhagavatam that there is a hierarchy, and we all very well know that Lakshmi is also Radha. The name of Lakshmi is Radha and there is a Vishesha Rupa. So then how can we dismiss so many shastras which speak about Radha? Matsya Purana speaks Rukmini Dvaravattyam tu Radha Dwarakam Yam tu Radha Vrindavane Mune. Rukmini is the chief of Dwarka and Radha is the chief of Vrindavana. So Jeev Goswami gives the following verse of Agni Purana. At the dawn, the gopis inquired from Krishna's servant Uddhava about Lord's pastimes and recreation. Only Srimati Radharani, immersed in thoughts of Krishna, withdrew her interest in the talks. Then Radha, who is worshipped by the residents of her Vrindavan village, spoke up in the midst of her girlfriends. Here, words were full of pure transcendental knowledge and expressed the ultimate portion of the Vedas. So, is definitely these gopis are not ordinary, and the position of Radharani is definitely supreme, and it is not ordinary like anybody else. So statements like Yanda Saubhagya Gunavanchate Gunavanche Satyabhama. Even Lakshmi and Parvati, here it's mentioned that the queens of Dwarka all desire to be like the gopis. So it is also mentioned elsewhere that Mahalakshmi is desires to take interest in Rasa Leela. So these statements you have to understand only in the context of Vishesha, that it's a special Leela of the Lord, and that special Leela, the special form of Mahalakshmi and the special form of Narayana are there to perform that Leela. So Krishna, he is the Swayam Bhagwan, he is the original form with all the special characteristics, and Lakshmi also has that Adi Lakshmi special feature as Radha, and in this way she is engaged in the Parakiya Rasa. So this is the understanding that we have to develop in this point, and not separate the Lakshmi from Radha. At the same time, we cannot say that Radha itself doesn't exist. So this is the point speaking which just a minute. देवी कृष्णमयी प्रोक्ता राधिका परदेवता सर्वलक्ष्मी मयी सर्वा कांति सम्मोहिनी परा. So she is the supreme, and this is quoted by Jiva Goswami in the Krishna Sandarbha. So she is the supreme in the sense that she is, wherever there is Krishna, there is Radhika, there is Lakshmi, the Adi Lakshmi, and that is where she is Sarva Lakshmi Mai. That is the understanding that we have to derive from this. So with this, Radha Damodar Goswami completes the second ray of Vedānta Syamantaka entitled Ishvara. So we will just go through the different sections of it. Any questions related to Radha, then we will go through the different sections. Please ask me. Yes, Roshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
And the references you give, so I did not quite understand the Rig Veda Parishishta. What is this Parishishta means? And also, what is Gautamiya Tantra means? What part of Veda is Gautamiya Tantra? Can you please explain?
Okay, Rig Veda Parishishta means the Parishesha means the last parts after dividing. Actually, each of these Vedas are divided into two mandalas and ashtakas. So there are two ways of dividing the Vedas. One is through mandalas or through ashtakas. Yeah, eight suktas into one, like that. So the leftovers at the end seems to be Parishishta. I will find out. Gautamiya Tantra, it's a part of which section of Shruti? I will find out that also. I don't know these two things. I will check it.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Any other questions till now? You also can express, all of you can express your thoughts on this. What do you think? Based on what you have studied and based on what you have understood. This is an open thing which requires more discussions. Hare Krishna, what do you all say about it?
Prabhuji, I had one more question. What are the views of like Madhvacharya in this regard, Srimati Radharani and Lakshmi Tattva? You have
Madhvacharya
any
has not commented about Radharani as such.
Hmm.
One thing is that the gopis, he has mentioned that they are heavenly denizens. They are apsaras from Swarga. Because there are, what is that? There are apsaras from Swarga who have come as and participated as gopis. Then there are rishis who have come and participated as gopis. Then there are shrutis, the Vedas who have come and participated as gopis. So all the different types. And then there are Nitya Siddha gopis also who have come from the spiritual world and participated. So all the different types of them have participated. So Madhvacharya emphasizes about the apsaras who have come. So he says that these apsaras have come and participated as gopis. Doesn't elaborate anything more than that.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji.
So the Rasa Leela of Krishna is something which is done by more punyashali. Means devatas are having more level of punya. So they are engaged in pastimes which ordinary people cannot. And Supreme Lord, because he is in the pinnacle of these things of punya, because he is having the highest punya, there is no papa, lesha in him. So that is why he engaged in such pastimes. So that was the need of the hour at that time. The establishing of Vishnu Tattva was more important. So this rasa and all the difficult topics were not discussed in detail. Okay, any other point?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, just one point.
Yes.
On the day of Radhashtami, I had one lecture from His Holiness Jayapatas Maharaj that the queens of Dwaraka are the reflection of Srimati Radharani, and Lakshmi Devis are the Amsha of Srimati Radharani. Something like that, Prabhuji.
So it's all on the concept of Vishesha. It's not that they get less power as they come down or something like that. It is just that it's identified differently.
Visheshana is different, but that potency they carry, that they
Potence
carry
is
is
the
equal.
same, just that to manifest certain pastimes, they display certain Vishesha Rupas. Okay.
And Prabhuji, like just some time back, I asked one question that Shakti form of the Lord. Generally, we hear that the Lord is there in each and every living entity as Paramatma, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaram. So, but this is quite new that every karma that we do, every activity we do, that there is a separate form of the Lord that is manifesting. This is something really.
No, because it is forms of Lord are unlimited, no, Prabhuji. So just like the number of waves in the ocean, that may be counted somehow, but the forms of Lord can never be counted. They are so unlimited in number. So this is why I mentioned that point was that the Lord is so much vyapta, he is so much spread that he is not spread like impersonal sky. He is spread in different forms, unlimited forms. And the amount of unlimited forms he is spread in, Lakshmi Devi also follows him,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Can we understand the concept of Vishesha from the invocation mantra stated in the Isopanishad? Purnat Purnam Udachyate, that complete whole unit is emanated from the complete.
Yes. So that is the point, that all the different avatars are all complete. Okay, and they are emanated from the one complete, so they are all complete, so you cannot separate them from each other. That is the understanding.
So, but Prabhuji, here one question may arise that one someone may ask that we are also the parts and parcels of the Lord, so we should also be completed. We should also be independent tattva.
No, part and parcel means I explained, there are different types of srishtis. We don't come under Shuddha Srishti. Shuddha Srishti means the different avatars of the Lord or the different forms of the Lord. We come under Paradhina Vishesha Vapti Srishti. Means we are the Srishti of Adhina of the Lord. We are the creation which is dependent on the Lord. Creation means we are not created, we are eternal living beings, but our existence as Jivatva is dependent on Lord creating facilities to demonstrate that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Similarly, Lakshmi's creation, Lakshmi's existence as having Lakshmitva is dependent on the Lord. Lord should give the facilities for her demonstrating the motherly nature on living entities. One thing yesterday I told was that for creation, but she is also the mother for the liberated souls in the spiritual world also. So that is one thing I missed yesterday. So she is the mother who is caring for liberated souls in the spiritual world also. But that facility is also Lord's potency that is making it. So still there is a adhinata, there is a dependence on the Lord for that. Okay, so just a minute. So we started with Ishvara. Ishvara is confusing because Vedas are many, and each of these Vedas, what they do is they speak about the different deities, which is supreme. So Mahesha, what's the wrong in? Because he's Mahaisha, he's the Isha of everyone. So similarly, there is Shiva, he's the most auspicious. So what is the problem with that? Then we saw that no, it's not like that. Definitely these names are there, but these names are first attributed to Vishnu, Sarva Shabda Vachakatvat. First, all of these names are assigned to Vishnu. He is the supreme Shiva. He is the supreme Mahesha. He is the topmost Indra, he is the topmost Ashwini Kumar, so he is the topmost Yajna, Agni. So everything first attributes to Vishnu only, and then the Vishnu assigns the names to different entities based on their qualities, based on their ability to grasp that qualities. And even then, the Devatas are not independent. The benedictions that they give, they are dependent on the Supreme Lord only for benedictions to be given to the devotee. Okay, so that is one thing we have seen. Then we also seen Shastra Pramanas where he who is Vishnu is Rudra, Rudra is Vishnu, they are not different from each other. So that is there. But at the same time, we also see the Shastra Pramanas that Narayana is the independent, he is the original cause. He created Brahma and from him arise Rudra, Brahma, Indra. So Narayana Upanishad and other Shruti Pramanas speak about it. Then apart from that, Narayana assigns the names to different devas, whereas he is fully independent to do things. Okay, now what about pastimes like Krishna worshipping Shiva for obtaining a son? So Pradyumna he got, but then here actually it is Samba. Pradyumna he got quite easily, but then Satyabhama was worried that she should also have a son. So Krishna went to Himalayas, performed austerities, got the Rudra mantra in Diksha, chanted it, and then Lord Rudra was pleased and he gave benediction that he will have a child, and that way Satyabhama Samba was born. Now all these are pastimes in order to facilitate, in order to give direction to the people that what they should do. So for that reason, Krishna did this. He is not doing with the idea that I have to depend on the devatas. Similarly, the word Narayana itself is analyzed Nara and Ayana. So Nara means living being or the cosmic waters. And Ayana means the shelter or the resting place. So shelter of all living beings or the shelter of all cosmic waters, resting place for all and goal of all human beings. So the Narayana is the goal, and because Natva is applied, that simply makes it proper noun, not a common noun. It specifically refers to one individual. It doesn't refer to uh, post or something like that. Unlike the Devatas who are all posts, the position of Narayana is not a post. That is what we saw. And then there are various pramanas how Brahma and Rudra originate from Narayana. Then how the different avatars, the different devatas got their power from Narayana. Rudra was born and he was crying. He wanted a name. So then Brahma gave him the name and Brahma purified him. And in this way, he was able to get. So he was dependent. That is the point. Similarly, there are other Leelas where how Brahma by his tapasya, he got the position of Brahma. Shiva by his offering into Ahuti, himself and all the living entities got the position of Shiva. And there were various situations where Shiva is in difficulty and Brahma comes and Lord Vishnu comes and helps. So in this way, the supremacy of Lord Vishnu is very well established. Now, even among them, there are different avatars. So how to understand the different avatars? So for that, we discussed the concept of Vishesha. But on the concept of Vishesha, we should understand that because Neha Nanasti Kinchana is one statement in the Shruti, which says that you cannot differentiate between the forms of the Lord. So definitely we cannot differentiate, but we use the Vishesha Padartha, Bheda Bhava Epi, Bheda Vyavaram Vishesham. Even when there is no difference, we still conventionally accept differences like mud cloth, mud pot, or silk cloth, some of these things for conventional acceptance. Similarly, the different forms of the Lord are conventional acceptance of their acceptances, but not that actually they are different and they are less powerful or more powerful. So this is the concept that we have to accept here. Okay, and then the next concept is that of I, aham. So aham brahmasmi, we have heard this famous thing. So what is that aham? So the real aham is the Supreme Lord only. Though we understood that ahankara means minus, I-ness. Whereas I, when I refer to myself as a Jiva Tattva, living entity, at the same time, because the Supreme Lord is so near to the Jivatma, you can still accept your I-ness for the Supreme Lord also. Let's say now we are we. Once all of you leave, I'll be alone. I'll be I. Maybe I'll be with my family. We are still we. But when I go to sleep, I'll be I. Even at that time, Supreme Lord will be with us. So the real Ahankara is to recognize ourselves with the Supreme Lord and not independent of Him. So under those circumstances, this Aham Brahmasmi and all can be interpreted quite easily. So Brahma Vimohana Leela, 1 full year, all the Gopas were not there, but the parents developed such great affection towards their children. Krishna was their child and developed affection. It is because Krishna is actually the real identity of myself. So my real identity is my connection with Krishna. That is why, because of this real aham, they were able to actually develop the affection which they would either otherwise have for their own children. So this is what we discussed in this section. Then Lakshmi Tattva. Lakshmi Tattva is also a critical thing because it's confusing because she is not a Jiva Tattva. She is not like a karma bound or even liberated Jiva or something like that, because it's quite clear that she is Sarva Vyapini, she is spread everywhere, and she is Anapayini, she is present at all the places along with Vishnu. She is also powerful. So one of the things that is to be thought is that is she merged in Vishnu or is she also the Supreme Lord equal to Vishnu, same as Vishnu? So how to understand this? So definitely it's achintya, it's not easy to grasp, it's inconceivable. But what we could understand from our analysis is that there are at least some statements in the Shastras like Bhagavatam and other places where clearly the servitorship relationship is there. Lakshmi is the servant and the Lord is the master. So definitely the master and servant relationship is clearly established, or husband-wife relationship is clearly established there. So with this in the background, considering this relationship, what we should understand is that it's not that there is a physical union or merger or oneness, but they are inseparable. How many forms Vishnu takes, so many forms Lakshmi also takes. So wherever Vishnu is, Lakshmi is also there. At the time of Pralaya, when everything is destroyed, all the jivas enter the stomach of Vishnu, Lakshmi doesn't get destroyed. She is still sitting with Vishnu. So that is how you should understand this Anapayini. You should not understand them as completely united into one and herself becoming the Supreme Lord or the second Supreme Lord. It's not like that. So, although inconceivable, it should still be understood with the understanding that Seva Sevaka Bhav, the relationship of servant and the master, should be kept intact. And Lakshmi Devi, if just like Krishna is the special form with the different leelas and different rupas, that Vishnu form also he doesn't demonstrate. He doesn't demonstrate in the Vishnu rupa, but he demonstrates in the Krishna rupa. Similarly, when Krishna comes, Lakshmi comes as Radha, and this Radha is actually engaged in the pastimes of Parakiya Rasa, more intimate pastimes with Krishna in Vrindavan. So Lakshmi, Radha is the Adi Lakshmi. Radha is also one of the names of Lakshmi. So there is no conflict. You cannot say that this Radha is somebody different and Lakshmi is somebody different, because to have intimate relationship with the Lord, Lakshmi Tattva is necessary. And so definitely Radha is the Adi Lakshmi, and in this form she is manifesting. There are various pramanas we discussed about Radha's presence and Radha serving Krishna and Radha being dear to Krishna. If these are questioned by people, then you should understand that we might engage in Shruti Nindanam, because there are so many references. It's not just one or two, and to bluntly dismiss all those things, then it doesn't seem to make so much sense. So we should understand with what is that? We should do a samanvaya with understanding the Shastra. So when Lakshmi Devi herself is Radha, what is the problem in accepting all these pastimes that are being performed by Radha? So this was the summary of this whole Ishvara Prameya. Yes, please, Prabhuji. You all can share your thoughts in this regard. Okay, please, you can take some questions on this. Establish the supremacy of Narayana over other devatas. This can be a 5-mark question. Establish the supremacy of Narayana over other devatas. Then explain Sarva Shabda Vachakatvat. Explain Sarva Shabda Vachakatvat. This is another question. Let me know if I am going fast. Please explain Vishesha Padartha in context of the forms of Narayana. Explain Vishesha Padartha in the context of the forms of Narayana. Then explain Lakshmi Tattva. Explain Lakshmi Tattva. Is Radha Lakshmi? Explain. Is Radha Lakshmi? Explain. So these are the questions that will be covered in the Ishvara Prameya. Yes, anything else to add? Any questions in this regard? Please let me know.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I was discussing I was discussing about the philosophy of Gauda Vaishnavism with someone else. He just wanted to know about. So I gave him many Shruti Pramans and this and that. And then he said, okay, that's okay. But if I want to check your Shruti Praman, where can I go? because Prabhupada hasn't translated all the scriptures. Prabhupada has just translated Srimad Bhagavatam, Ishopanishad, and Bhagavad Gita for Prasthantraya, all this. So, what is the reply for this? How can we means also check the other Shruti Pramanas? Where are they available?
So, definitely Shruti is something which is common to everyone. If you hear the first few classes that we discussed, Shruti is common to everyone. Everyone has access to the Shruti. So, we can definitely see the Pramanas, they are available. Nowadays, they are available in libraries. The Vedas and all are quite easily available. Books are available, libraries are quite available. And there are sadhus in different sampradayas also who have these things. So, definitely we will get a good number of resources. So it is something which is common, and the idea is that you cannot reject them because they are Shruti and they are common to everyone. That is the point we should understand. It
So
doesn't
we
require Prabhupada to translate each of them. It is something which is common for all.
so we have to check the other publications also. I mean,
Yes, yes, why not?
okay, bro.
Any questions? Any questions in this whole section? Or is it clear? Was today's discussion fruitful? What do you think? Are we presenting in? Is this presentation acceptable? What do you all think?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu,
One Radhapati Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
So Durga Tattva we'll discuss separately. How we relate to Durga Tattva with Lakshmi Tattva.
So all the female forms, they are getting their power from Mahalakshmi. So there is a bimba pratibimba bhava, or there is a reflection theory by which the original source is Lakshmi only, and from Lakshmi they are all getting their energies.
Okay.
Yes. Anything else? Anything else to add in this regard?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It was very similar to Vishnu Tattva only, the Vishesha form that you explained. The Lakshmi
Lakshmi,
Tattva.
it's similar to Vishnu Tattva, yes.
And Prabhuji, I had one more question.
Mm.
You said in the previous classes, means first few of the classes, that in Sanskrit we can if we change the wordings, if we jumble the words, the meaning is same. But in the Shruti Pramana, we cannot do that. We cannot change the sequence of the mantras. So is
Mm.
there any algorithm or is there any formula by which we can say that yes, it is interpolated? Like I have heard somewhere that Shruti cannot be interpolated. It will be caught by many people if Shrutis are interpolated.
It is because, you see, once we hear from the Guru, the same thing is repeated. So, one practical way of solving this problem is that if multiple sources are quoting the same, and if it works, for example, the Krishna conscious movement is quoting many Shrutis as Pramana. At the same time, whatever Krishna consciousness movement is teaching, it's Palayana Parishad, it's working eventually. That they are able to make people devotees, they are able to transform the lives of people, bring them to Krishna, bring them to a proper Vedic life. So it is working. So if we had actually manipulated Shruti, it would not work today. So considering all these things, we can have a reasonable amount of understanding that okay, the people here, whatever they are presenting seems to make sense. So like that, if certain things are quoted, let's say people sit for a debate, two people sit for a debate, and then they start talking. Actually, the system of debate in traditional circles is very sophisticated. It's not like the today's system of debate. So there is three types of debate. There the katha lakshana. There are three types of katha. One is vada, jalpa, vitanda. Vada means that there is a relationship between guru and shishya The disciple is asking the spiritual master with the intention to learn knowledge, to gain knowledge, to learn more. With that intention, the disciple is asking the spiritual master. That is called Vada. Now, Jalpa means that there is an intention to gain knowledge, but at the same time, there is also an intention to show that I am knowledgeable or I know these things. So there is some sense of minus that I know thing coming up. In Vitanda, it's completely or not, somehow or the other, I will defeat you, somehow or the other, I will prove that I am right. Now, all these things, three are essential for Tattva Nirnaya. For establishing the truth, Vada is also required, Jalpa is also required, Vitanda is also required. Vada, Guru-disciple relationship is anyway required. Jalpa means, okay, there is some sense of competition. That's okay, because at least in that competition, they are learning Shastras. Vitanda, how that is required? Sometimes when the wrong people are there, we should be in a challenging spirit to defeat them. And so that the challenging spirit is also required to establish the truth. So that is there. Now, why I'm giving all these things is that in all these things, whenever a debate begins, the first thing when you put your position, that so and so is my position, the first thing that should come out of a person's mouth is Shruti Pramanas. First thing is he should establish his position by Shruti only. When he establishes his position by Shruti, the opposite person has to actually present his Shruti Pramanas. And while he presenting his Shruti Pramanas, he has to be very careful that whatever Pramanas I gave, you cannot reject. Because it's Shruti Pramana, you cannot say that it is wrong. You may give a different interpretation to that. That's all. You may say these are my Shruti Pramanas, and that makes the interpretation of this Shruti Pramana slightly different. Then Smritis, if they are given, Smriti Shastras are given as Pramanas, Shruti can be overpowering Smriti. So if you speak something which is Smriti, but Shruti conflicts with that, Shruti is given higher preference. The Vedas are given higher preference than Puranas in a debate. So that is there. So that time we can decide the hierarchy. So in debates and all, when generally things that are commonly acceptable, so Purusha Sukta everyone accepts. Shri Sukta everyone accepts. Navagraha Sukta everyone accepts. There are some things which are commonly this. So as much as possible, the settling of the debate is done on things which are commonly acceptable. So then it becomes easy. So this is the art of debate.
So Prabhuji, as you said that that any other sampradaya also quotes the same reference, like same shlokas or mantras. So can we say that like that Madhvacharya did Mayavad Khandanam? He quoted many things, and no Shankaracharya, no Advaitiyan uh, said that no, this Praman doesn't exist. It is not wrong.
Yeah, they
So
cannot say that. When Shruti is spoken, they cannot say wrong. You may give a different understanding of it. That freedom you have.
Prabhuji, I'm saying that no, I'm saying that the existence of the mantra I'm talking about that.
Yes, yes.
That
Existence of the mantras, nobody would have questioned. Otherwise, he would not have become famous.
Mhm. So we can directly quote the Madhvacharya's works and Prabhupada's works, Sri Jiva Goswami's works on Shruti Smriti and say that it is authentic shlokas or
Yes, definitely you can quote. But when you quote, definitely, it's one level of authenticity to say that Prabhupada said or Jiva Goswami said. But if we are able to quote the exact mantras, that is a greater level because that's what our acharyas manifested. Prabhupada, if you see in every shloka, every purport of his, there is a reference to either Upanishads or there is a reference to Puranas, there is a reference to Brahma Sutra. So many references. He always speaks with references. So if there is a need to actually give the references also.
okay, Prabhuji, okay, all clear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Lord Vishnu has many Shakti-Avesh avatars. Do Prabhu Lakshmi also have like for Prithu Maharaj? I know Archie was there, but like for other avatars also, is there a fixed Shakti-Avesh avatara for Lakshmi goddess also?
Yes, here Prabhupada says that when Lakshmi is referred to as different from the Lord, that is some ordinary jiva empowered as Lakshmi. So one thing you should understand, sometimes girls are there. So girls are blessed as she is like Lakshmi who has come to our house. So that is when she is like Lakshmi. So she is treated like that. So that means that she is different from the Lord. She is a jiva tattva, but she is considered like Lakshmi. So similarly, Sometimes some aveshas of Lakshmi can also come, who are different, who are different forms of the Lord. So, like that, Shaktavesha avatars of Lakshmi Devi also can exist.
Okay, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, like, are there any specific avatars of her which are well known?
As Shaktavesha avatar, is it?
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Lord Rishabdeva was a Shaktavesha avatar, and his consort had the Avesha of Lakshmi. So that is definitely there. Apart from that, who else is there?
One would be Prithu Maharaj and Archi.
Prithu Maharaj and Archie definitely is there. No doubt about that. I don't know much about Buddha, so I cannot comment on it. Because there are many Buddhas. Sarvajna Saguto Buddho, Dharma Rajas, Tathagata, Samanta Vadro, Bhagavan, Maharajil Lokajijjana, Shadabhijna Dasho Balo, Advayavadi Vinayaka, Munindra Shri Ganashasta, Muni Shakya Munistriya. There is a Muni, there is a Buddha who is Muni, who is Supreme Lord himself. Whereas there is another Buddha called Shakya Muni. Shakya Simha Sarvartha Siddha Shododhanishchatata Gautamascharka Bandhuscha Maya Devi Sutascha. So this Shakya Muni is called Siddhartha. He is called Shododhana. So he is different. He is not the Supreme Lord. He is a living entity who is Buddha. So there are two Buddhas who have come, is mentioned in Amar Kosha. So we are exactly not sure of who is who.
Okay, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, like regarding you told about Mahalakshmi, like during a discussion. So, Prabhuji, like, is it like the Karano Daksha Vishnu? So his companion would be Mahalakshmi, and then when he expands into Garbha Daksha Vishnu, then another Lakshmi, and then Shiro Daksha Vishnu has another Lakshmi. So, can we say that Prabhuji, Mahalakshmi is the origin of all the other when it comes to like
No, they are all
particular?
Mahalakshmis only. Lakshmi, whom we call, is also called Mahalakshmi. So they are all the different for the different forms of the Lord. Mahalakshmi or Lakshmi anyway continues to be there with them.
Okay, so Prabhuji, like Karanodaksha Vishnu also has a companion.
Yes.
So her name is Mahalakshmi or Lakshmi, we call what we can call her.
There is no difference, Prabhuji. He is called Mahalakshmi, is called Lakshmi, as far as what I understand.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, so Ishvara, we have discussed in Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara is discussed in different chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. First six chapters primarily speak of Jiva Tattva, 7 to 12 speak about Ishvara, and 13 to 18 primarily speak about Prakriti. So 13 to 18 are very important chapters because they speak about Prakriti. Because ultimately the Jiva has to operate in the Prakriti only to perfect his life. So these are three sections. So 6 to 12 discuss about who is Ishvara, what are his different vibhutis, and the universal form, how to achieve him through bhakti. All those things are this, and who come to him, who don't come to him. All those things are how to achieve him ultimately in 8th chapter it is discussed. So all those things are subject matters of Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 to 12. So if anything else is there, you can let me know, else we'll close for today. Any other questions, any other comments? Okay, then. So we will meet next week, and the topic of this next week's discussion will be Jiva Tattva. What is Jiva and how it's different from Ishvara. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.